Welcome to Dogs Information. Dogs only see in black and white, and you have to be the alpha to train them. Both are wrong. And one myth on this list might be quietly getting between you and the dog you love most. Here's the strange thing about dog myths. They don't sound like myths. They sound like advice from your parents, your neighbor, that trainer on TV. You repeat them because you love your dog and you're trying to do everything right. But some of these beliefs make you misread your best friend. They make you worry when nothing is wrong, and look away at the one moment when something is. So today, we're going through 16 dog myths. It's time to stop believing. Some of them will surprise you, and at least one might change how you treat your dog starting tonight. Why does this matter so much? Because your dog can't correct you. If you believe a myth, your dog simply lives with the consequences quietly without complaint. That's just how they're built. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which of these so-called facts to let go of and what to do instead. And stay with me until the very end. I'm saving a little bonus. A 1-minute trick you can use tonight. Most owners have never heard of it. Alright, let's start with number 16. Number 16. Dogs only see in black and white. This is probably the oldest dog myth there is, and it's simply not true. Your dog's world isn't a gray movie from the 50s. Dogs see shades of blue, yellow, and gray. Their visual spectrum is narrower than yours, but there's a reason for that. Seeing the world this way strips out visual noise. That made it easier for their ancestors to hunt at dawn and dusk when the light is low. And here's the part most people miss. What dogs lack in color, they make up for in motion. Your dog can pick up the smallest movement from a remarkable distance. So no, your dog doesn't see a black and white world. They see a different one built for a different job. And if that one fooled you, don't worry. The next myth fooled people so completely that it changed how we count our dogs' birthdays. Number 15. 1 dog year equals 7 human years. You've done this math your whole life, but there's no evidence behind it. It's an oversimplification that stuck. In 2019, researchers at the University of California, San Diego found a better way to measure a dog's real age. They tracked changes in DNA, tiny chemical patterns that shift as a body grows older. And the results are wild. By that clock, a 1-year-old dog isn't 7 in human years. They're closer to 31. And a 5-year-old dog, comparable to a 57-year-old human. Dogs age fast and hard in their early years, and it varies by breed. So, that puppy zooming around your living room is basically a young adult already. And your senior dog, they've earned every one of those gray hairs twice over. Now, from how dogs age to what they eat off your lawn. Because that grass-eating habit, you've been told the wrong story about it. Number 14. Dogs eat grass because they're sick. You've probably watched your dog graze like a tiny cow and thought, oh, upset stomach. Maybe you heard they do it to make themselves vomit or because something's missing from their diet. Believe it or not, research suggests both of those are myths. Dogs on well-balanced diets, in great condition, still eat grass regularly. And plenty of dogs graze often without ever vomiting afterward. Researchers now believe grass eating is simply innate. A normal behavior wired in long before your backyard existed. Wild canines do it, too. Wolves are known to regularly eat plant matter. So, a little grazing on its own is usually nothing to panic about. Now, speaking of what goes into your dog's mouth, the next myth is one you might not want to hear right before dinner. Number 13. A dog's mouth is cleaner than a human's mouth. People love this one. Usually right before letting their dog lick a cut because dog saliva supposedly heals wounds. Let's bust these together because one of them can actually hurt you. Recent studies show dogs and humans carry about the same number of different bacteria in their mouths. The twist is that most of your dog's bacteria prefer dogs as hosts, which, funny enough, means kissing your dog is less risky than kissing a human. But, cleaner? No. Your dog doesn't brush their teeth. They eat off the ground, raid the garbage, and some of them visit the litter box. And that's exactly why saliva doesn't heal wounds. It makes them worse. Letting a dog lick an open cut can push serious germs straight in. And that can end in a serious infection. So, love the kisses. Protect the cuts. Now from your dog's mouth to your dog's face. That guilty look they give you when you find the chewed-up shoe. It isn't what you think. Number 12. Dogs feel guilt. Just look at their face. You come home, the couch cushion has been murdered. Stuffing everywhere, and your dog is already doing the look. Head low, ears back, eyes sliding away from yours. Caught red-handed, right? Here's the truth. Studies show dogs feel fear, sadness, and joy, but they don't have the emotional maturity for secondary emotions like guilt and shame. What you're actually seeing is called appeasement behavior. Your dog isn't saying, "I know what I did." They're reacting to you. Your voice, your posture, your disappointment, and trying to diffuse the tension. Because they feel threatened. Think about what that means. Read that look wrong, and you'll punish a dog who has no idea what the punishment is for. They don't connect it to the cushion from 3 hours ago. All they learn is that sometimes you come home angry. That one stings a little, but misreading guilt is nothing compared to misreading the next signal, the one every dog owner on earth is sure they understand. Number 11. A wagging tail means a happy dog. This might be the most common misread in the entire dog world. Yes, happy dogs wag their tails, but dogs also wag when they're nervous, frustrated, even right before aggression. A wag isn't happiness, it's energy. The tail is saying something is happening, not something good is happening. So, how do you tell the difference? Look past the tail at the whole body. A happy wag comes with loose, wiggly muscles. The whole back end swings with it. A warning wag comes with a stiff, tight body. The tail high, fast, and narrow. Same tail, completely different sentence. And owners are starting to sense this. Under every dog video, people ask about the speed of the wag, the height, even the direction. They're right to ask. Because reading it wrong is exactly how people get bitten by a dog that was supposedly wagging and friendly. Check the body, not just the tail. Loose means relaxed. Tight means trouble. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And your dog has another signal you've probably been misreading every single day. It's hiding inside a yawn. Number 10. A yawning dog is a sleepy dog. When you yawn, you're tired or bored. So, when your dog yawns, same thing, right? Not usually. In dogs, a yawn out of nowhere is often a calming signal, a pressure valve. Dogs yawn when they're anxious, confused, or overwhelmed. When the hug is a little too tight, when the training session runs long, or the room gets a little too loud. Owners describe this exact pattern all the time. My dog yawns when she's overwhelmed or when she wants me to stop something. That's not boredom, that's communication. Your dog is politely saying, "I need a second." So, here's a tiny superpower for you. Next time your dog yawns outside of nap time, pause and scan the moment. What just changed? Who walked in? What were you doing? You'll start catching little stress moments you used to miss completely. And your dog gets a person who finally listens. Now, speaking of things people give up on way too early, the next myth has quietly robbed more old dogs of joy than almost any other. Number 9. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. People say this like it's settled science. It isn't. A dog can learn new things at any age. 8 weeks or 13 years. An older dog may need a little more time and a little more patience, but the ability to learn never disappears. And honestly, this myth hurts owners as much as it hurts dogs. So many people quietly wonder, is it too late for my dog? Did I miss the window? Have I already ruined things? No, you haven't. It is never too late. Learning is also one of the best gifts you can give a senior dog. It keeps their mind sharp, their days interesting, and it gives the two of you a fresh reason to celebrate small wins together. Teach the old dog. The old dog is delighted to learn. Quick pause, because the list is about to change gears. The myths so far confuse people. The ones ahead change how dogs get fed, where they sleep, who gets adopted, and whether they live at all. And the biggest one is still waiting at number 2. It's about a sound your dog makes. And if you handle it the way most owners do, it can quietly break the trust between you. Stay with me. Number 8. Dogs should eat like wolves. The logic sounds airtight. Wolves are your dog's closest wild relative. Wolves eat raw meat, so the best food for your dog must be meat and only meat. Right? Here's the problem with that. Your dog is not a wolf. Over thousands of years of living beside us, dogs evolved from strict carnivores into something much closer to omnivores. As one longtime dog owner put it perfectly, you are raising a dog, not a wolf. The two are very different, and that difference matters at the food bowl. A meat-only diet can quietly leave your dog missing vitamins and supplemental nutrients they genuinely need. Yes, your dog needs meat, but they also need fat. And they do well with fruits and vegetables in the mix, too. Now, I know the raw versus kibble debate gets heated. There are passionate, devoted owners on both sides with real stories behind them. And this video isn't here to referee that fight. Every dog is different, so work out the details with your vet. Just know this much. Feed them like a wolf is not the trump card it sounds like. Wolves also sleep in the snow. Your dog chose the couch. And speaking of where dogs sleep, the next myth has probably started more arguments in bedrooms than any other on this list. Number 7. Sleeping with your dog is bad for you. For years, the official advice was stern. Don't let the dog in the bed. It will ruin their behavior. It will make you sick. Maybe someone in your life still says this, usually in that judgmental tone. Well, here's the update. This myth has been debunked. Many vets now believe those old concerns were overstated or just plain wrong. And research published in Mayo Clinic Proceedings found something better. Sharing your bedroom with your dog may actually improve your sleep. As long as you're both healthy and your dog isn't under the covers, snuggling up at night is perfectly safe. Just keep it clean. Make sure your dog is free of fleas, ticks, and parasites and up to date on their vaccinations. And listen, so many owners quietly ask for permission on this one. Am I making a mistake? Am I creating a clingy, anxious dog? Is it a bad choice? Here's your answer. Where your dog sleeps is your call. Yours and your dog's, not your neighbor's, not the internet's. If those warm little snores at your feet help you both rest, you officially have permission to enjoy them. Sadly, the next myth doesn't cost anyone's sleep. It costs dogs their homes. Number 6. Rescue dogs don't make good pets. You've heard the warnings. You don't know their background. You don't know what you're getting. They're in the shelter for a reason. Here's the reality. The reason is usually a human one. Dogs end up in shelters because an owner passed away, lost a job, lost a home, or welcomed a newborn and couldn't cope anymore. The dog didn't fail anyone. Someone's circumstances failed the dog. A dog's presence in a shelter tells you nothing about their character. So, don't assume they were banished for some wrongdoing. And when a rescue dog does struggle with fear, anxiety, even aggression, there's usually a reason. They were poorly treated or never got proper socialization and training. That's not a broken dog. That's a dog who hasn't been given a fair chance yet. One adopter described the moment she met her rescue like this. When she first laid eyes on me, she knew she was safe. Home. That is what's waiting in those kennels. So, the next time you're ready to bring a dog into your life, give a rescue a chance to surprise you. Now, we've reached the top 5, and it starts with the biggest lie in the history of dog training. Number 5. You must be the alpha. This myth has ruled dog training for decades. Be the pack leader. Dominate your dog, or your dog will dominate you. Famous TV trainers built empires on it, and loving owners still ask, shouldn't I be showing him who's boss? Here's where it actually came from. In the 1970s, studies of captive wolves suggested that alpha wolves claw their way to the top of the pack through aggression. Dogs descend from wolves. So, people bolted that theory onto dog training, but science moved on and the whole premise collapsed. When researchers finally studied real wolf families in the wild, they found something almost funny. Wolf packs aren't gladiator arenas. They're families. The leaders are simply the parents taking care of their young. That's it. And on the dog side, the research says the same thing over and over. Dogs trained with rewards and praise end up more well-balanced and happier than dogs trained through dominance. So, here's the refrain. Your dog isn't plotting a coup. They're not testing your rank. They're asking one simple question every single day. Am I safe with you? Answer with clarity and consistency. Not fear. Hold on to that word, fear, because it's at the heart of the most heartbreaking myth on this list. And that's coming right up. And if you're still here, this is where it pays off. The last 4 myths decide how safe your dog feels with you. That includes the one from the very start of this video. And right after number 1, that 1-minute bedtime trick is waiting. Don't go anywhere. Number 4. Once a dog bites, it's time to put them down. A bite is scary. It's stressful. And in that awful moment, plenty of voices around you will say the same thing. You can never trust that dog again. Will happen again. It's time. But here's what the experts actually say. Aggression in dogs is a treatable problem. Treatable. A bite is not a death sentence. And nobody has to rush toward that decision. More often than not, a dog bites because they felt threatened, cornered, or afraid. Not because something inside them suddenly broke. Every dog and every situation is different. So, the real next step isn't panic. It's sitting down with a canine behavior consultant or your veterinarian. Figure out what caused the bite in the first place. Then build a plan so it never happens again. That's the protocol. Understanding what pushed your dog past their limit can save their life. Which raises a harder, quieter question. Would you even know when your dog is hurting? Because myth number 3 says they'd tell you. They won't. Number 3, if my dog were in pain, they would cry. This is the myth I most need you to remember. Dogs inherited a hard rule from the wild. Never look weak out there. An injured animal is a vulnerable animal, a target. So, there's a survival advantage in acting like nothing is wrong. Even when something most definitely is. Your dog still carries that instinct today. It protected their ancestors. And it protects their standing in the pack. Which means that right now, curled up on your couch, is an animal literally built to hide pain from predators, from rivals, even from you. So no. Dogs don't always cry out when they hurt. Sometimes there's no yelp, no whimper, no limp, just silence. And small changes. Eating a little less. Sleeping a little more. Hesitating at the stairs. Hiding in rooms they never used to sit in. Wincing at a touch that was fine last month. If your dog's behavior changes, take it seriously. That's often the only language pain ever gets. I know this one lands heavy. You love this animal. And the thought of them suffering quietly, right next to you, hurts. But you can't unknow it now. You know what to watch for. And that brings us to the myth I flagged in the very first breath of this video. The sound almost everyone punishes and almost everyone shouldn't. Number 2, a growling dog is a bad dog. Your dog growls at a child reaching toward their bowl, at a hand on a sore hip, at a stranger leaning in too fast. And every instinct you have says, correct that. Shut it down. Please don't. Because a growl is not aggression. A growl is information. It's your dog saying, I'm scared. I'm hurting. I'm not okay with this. It's the last polite warning a dog gives before they run out of options. Now, follow the logic because this is where the myth turns dangerous. If you punish the growl, the fear underneath it doesn't go anywhere. All you've taught your dog is that the warning gets them in trouble. As experienced owners put it, never train your dog to suppress their warning signs because one day, instead of growling first, they just bite, seemingly out of nowhere. And then you'll hear the saddest sentence in the dog world. He bit without warning. He didn't. The warning was punished away, one growl at a time. This is the myth from the start of the video. The one that quietly gets between people and the dogs they love. Yelling builds fear instead of learning. Dogs learn best through clarity and consistency, not fear. So, when your dog growls, don't punish the messenger. Thank them and get curious. What are they telling you? Find the why. Fix the why. And the growl fades on its own. Get this. One right and you're not just safer. You become the person your dog trusts with the truth. And after something that serious, you've earned some good news because number one is pure relief. Number one, a warm, dry nose means a sick dog. Generations of owners have pressed a palm to a dog's nose like it's a thermometer and spent whole evenings worrying about what they felt. Here's the relief. A nose is not a thermometer. A perfectly healthy dog can have a warm, dry nose after a nap in a heated room on a sunny afternoon. And a genuinely sick dog can still have a cold, wet one. The nose just isn't a reliable indicator. Either way, what actually matters is what you learned 2 myths ago: behavior. Not eating, hiding, acting oddly. Those are the signals worth a call to the vet. And if you ever truly need to check for a fever, only a thermometer can tell you that. So, if your dog's nose feels warm tonight, stay alert, sure, but you're allowed to stop panicking. That's all 16. But before you go, let's talk about what this list actually means for you and your dog. Because here's the thread running through every single one of them. At the start, I said these myths don't sound like myths. They sound like advice. Black and white vision, the 7-year rule, the alpha, the guilty look, the wagging tail, the dry nose. And one by one, none of them survived contact with actual science. But notice what the science kept saying instead over and over. Your dog is not a wolf to dominate, not a machine to decode, not a criminal to catch in the act. They're family. Speaking a language of their own and hoping every single day that you'll learn a few words of it. That's the real payoff of letting these myths go. You stop punishing signals and start reading them. You stop worrying about the wrong things. A dry nose, a shared bed, a patch of grass, and start noticing the right ones. The skipped meal, the quiet growl, the yawn in a loud room. And here's the part one hope you take to bed tonight. You've been wondering if the bond goes both ways. If your dog really sees you the way you see them, the proof was there all along. Your dog has been talking to you this entire time. Now, you speak the language. And that brings me to the little gift I promised you. Tonight, instead of one more lap around the block, give your dog a job. Take a hollow toy. A Kong works perfectly. Stuff it with something tasty, freeze it, and let them work it out. Owners are constantly amazed by this one. Mental stimulation, not just exercise, is the missing piece for restless, anxious dogs. 10 minutes of brain work can settle a dog more than an hour of running. Try it tonight and watch what happens to the evening zoom eyes. If this video changed how you see your best friend, share it with one person who still believes in the alpha. And subscribe. Because next time, I'm breaking down the signs your dog has quietly chosen you as their person. And tell me in the comments which of these 16 did you believe? No judgment here. We all started somewhere, and our dogs forgive faster than we learn. Give yours a scratch from me tonight. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe, share please.